Hi and welcome to Mitcham Salvation Army's virtual toy service as we start this Christian season of Advent. It's going to be a short time where we hear some stories about the impact of the Christmas present appeal. We're going to have some carols that you can sing from the comfort of your own home in your PJs and your slippers. And it'll also be an opportunity for those of you that are able to contribute financially to the Christmas Present Appeal 2020. We really hope you enjoy the next few minutes and that it will help you experience some of the Christmas joy. So on that note, our first song is Joy to the World.
A diamond shines no brighter than that lovely Christmas star. It shines in all its brilliance, it's seen from near or far. A symbol of the Christ child as he lay upon the hay, it told to all the waiting world a king was born that day. O Bethlehem star, keep shining, give us faith and hope and love. Keep our thoughts forever turning to the Saviour up above. Give us strength and hope and courage to do our best by far and never falter in our faith as we watch that Christmas star.
In a few moments you'll have the chance to sing along to the song Ding Dong Merrily on High, so don't forget to take a big deep breath before you get to the chorus. Before that we have a Salvation Army children's choir bringing the song A Starry Night to us.
It was on a starry night when the hills were bright, and lay sleeping, calm and still. Then in a castle shed, in a manger bed,
Our story from the Bible today involves wise people studying the sky and looking for stars and then going on a long journey. I wonder, have you ever experienced a long journey at this time of year? Hopefully the effort was worth it when you arrived, and it was as exciting as the expedition in this account.
Far away in the east, 3 clever men saw the very same star, the star that God had put in the sky when Jesus was born. They knew it was a sign. A baby king had been born. They had been waiting for this star. They knew it would come. "It's here!" they shouted. "It's here!" And I'm sure if you'd been there, you would have heard them laughing and dancing and singing until the sun came up. At dawn, they packed up their camels and wrapped gifts for the baby. They brought their most precious treasures of all, frankincense, gold, and myrrh. Special sparkly, lovely smelling, gleaming things, just right for a king. The 3 wise men, actually, if you'd met them, you would have thought they were kings because they were so rich and clever and important looking, set off. They rode their camels across endless deserts, up steep, steep mountains, into deep, deep valleys, through raging rivers, over grassy plains. Night and day and night, for hours that turned into days, that turned into weeks, that turned into months and months, until, at last, they reached Jerusalem. Jerusalem was by far the most important city for miles around, and as anyone can tell you, that's where a palace would be. And kings are born in palaces, so that's where they went. But they were in for a surprise. They went to see King Herod. Surely he'd know where the baby was. But he didn't. In fact, he didn't like the sound of a new king. It made him cross. He didn't want anyone else to be king except him. But Herod's advisors told the 3 wise men what was written in their books, what God had said about the baby king. "Go to Bethlehem, that's where you'll find him." Suddenly, the star they had seen in the east started moving again, showing them the way. So the 3 wise men followed the star out of the big city, along the road into the little town of Bethlehem. They followed the star through the streets of Bethlehem, out of the nice part of town, through the not so nice part of town, into the really not so nice at all part of town, down the little dirt track, until it stopped right over a little house. But wait, it wasn't a palace, and there weren't any guards or servants or flags or red carpets or trumpets or anything. Did they get it wrong? Or was this what God meant? Sure enough, in that little house, there, sitting on his mother's knee, they found him, the baby king.
Hopefully you've noticed that there is an underlying theme about a star running through this video. Stars create their own light and are able to chase away darkness. They have fascinated humans for thousands of years and continue to do so today. In our story, there were educated people who looked to the stars for wisdom, and through their studies they discerned that a significant baby was to be born in a land far away. If we take the letters of the word star individually, we might be able to think about this story in a way which is helpful to us today. The first letter, S, could stand for start. The travellers in our story knew that they would have to take a long and difficult journey to reach their end goal, which was to meet the baby and to worship him. I would suggest that some people around them advised them not to travel, but they were convinced, through their learning, that it was the right thing. They may have had some doubts, but they felt strongly enough to take the steps into the unknown and depart. We may face journeys in our lives that we know we should take, but cannot see too far along the road ahead of us. Sometimes we need to start out on a new path, start trusting God for guidance and wisdom, and start dreaming about future possibilities. T is the next letter, and it could represent taking friends with us on the journey. Journeys alone and journeys together with other people are very different. I prefer journeys with others because a shared experience is fun, and there is the chance that friends will see different things to me which will only enhance the trip. Our travellers would have travelled in a group of people, spending much time together while they were on the road. We can learn so much from spending concentrated time with others, and there is a possibility that relationships built and experiences gained will be remembered for the rest of our lives. The hope is that eventually we will arrive at the destination we are seeking, that we will complete the journey and be able to enjoy the outcomes. Arrivals often come with a sense of achievement, because even journeys with lots of planning can take a different turn and include obstacles. Our travellers went to a destination, but realised it was the wrong place and needed to continue the journey until they reached their end goal. In life, we can need determination and persistence to help us complete journeys. We might need to overcome obstacles, but if we keep the goal in sight and work with others, hopefully we will enjoy the experience on arrival. Finally, once the travelling is completed, it is good practice to reflect, to think back along the paths we have taken and to try and learn from the journey. What went well? What not so well? What would we repeat? And what would we change? Would we want to tackle the same journey again, or should we seek a new path? Advent is a time to wait and reflect, to pause and to ponder. Will you make time in this season for a little reflection? So start the journey, take some friends, make sure you arrive at the destination, and then take time to reflect on it.
Still we see thee lie above
years now, the Salvation Army in Merton, like so many others across the UK, have taken part in the annual Christmas present appeal, and it makes gifts available for families who otherwise might find it difficult. We're very grateful to all the local people who have helped us organise this throughout the years, whether it's businesses, individuals or other community groups. Those of you that have donated vouchers, gifts and money in order for this service to take place each year. We know we couldn't run this appeal without you, and so thank you once again. The following interview is with an organisation we work with each year, and hopefully it will give you a flavour into the difference this appeal makes to so many families.
Hi Cheryl, thank you so much for joining me on this interview today. Really glad to have you in the room. And I'm just trying to make a little video this year to show people who are going to watch it how our Christmas present appeal works. So I wonder, can you tell me which organisation you work for and how the Christmas present appeal has helped you in the past, please?
Hi, I'm Inclusion Manager at St Mark's Primary School in Mitcham. A large number of our pupils come from disadvantaged backgrounds and their families suffer grave economic hardship. We try to help our families in every way we can, and we often rely on excellent support of local charities like the Salvation Army. Many of our families do not have enough money to buy their children Christmas presents, as their income barely covers their essentials. So the donated presents from the Salvation Army have helped to ensure that every one of our pupils gets a present. And I can't describe the joy that the children display when they receive their presents from the Salvation Army. It may be the only present they receive.
Okay, so that's how we've helped you in the past. That's brilliant. But I wonder, what difference will the appeal particularly make to you in this next year?
Well, this year, the presents given to our children by the Salvation Army will be especially important. I mean, firstly, so many of our parents are struggling financially due to the problems caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of our parents have lost their jobs or had their hours or pay cut. This means that more parents may not be able to buy any presents for their children. Secondly, our pupils have spent so much time indoors this year with the lockdown and restrictions, that they've overused and worn out so many of their existing toys. So it's so important this year.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really helpful to hear. I wonder if there were people out there who were wondering whether they might like to donate to the appeal, how might you encourage them to do that?
Well, I would encourage everyone to support this cause this year by donating money on the Just Giving page or presents to the Salvation Army this Christmas. It's been such a difficult year for the children and they've missed out on so much fun and laughter. They really deserve to have a present they cherish this Christmas.
Thank you so much for giving us your time today. All the best for the next few weeks. We know how busy the schools are and how hard they're working to deal with, particularly the pandemic at the moment. So please pass on our best wishes to everyone at St Mark's, and we'll see you in the new year. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Dear God, thank you that we can celebrate together virtually, and while we can't be together physically, we can share in supporting one another practically. Help us to continue to shine and bring happiness and joy at a time of great need. Together we are. Amen.
On the next slide, there will be a QR code. And if you have a smartphone, you can use the camera to link you straight to our Just Giving site, where we're collecting donations that will enable us to buy gifts and vouchers. But it will also mean that we can safely distribute them in these unprecedented times. We really do want to give a heartfelt thank you in anticipation for all the donations, and we hope that you will join us later in this month for a virtual Christmas carol service. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you should receive an alert when the videos are available. But for now, enjoy this season of Advent and have a very happy Christmas.